Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining another stream. I'm back again on this fine Monday morning, looking at the weekend price action, and I do have a special guest with me, the Imagine Project from the Stonksy Discord. If you are in the Discord, you'll undoubtedly know who he is, and I will introduce him in just a second. And then, we'll kickstart the stream. We've got a mega stream today, and I'll probably stay on for the US Open as well. So let's see, we've got in the chat, we've got Unicorn Magus in, we've got Wiz, and that's it for now. So do get your comments in, and do make sure that you drop a like on the stream. Let's get the algorithm going in our favour today. But yeah, I've got a good friend of Stonksy's in from the Discord, the Imagine Project. How are you doing, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, so you're all good. You're all good to talk.
So, Coffee just joined us.
Yeah, oh yeah, Coffee's in as well. Yes, Coffee. How are you doing, mate? It's great to see you. You'll have to get you back on the stream at some point soon as well, mate. Drop me or I'll drop you a message on Discord at some point today or tomorrow. We'll have to get you back on. Hope all is well. Yeah, Legend Coffee Club as well. Another superb trader from the Discord. But yeah, Imagine Project, for anyone who doesn't know him, he's in the Discord all the time, the Stonksy Discord, putting in charts, putting in alpha, just giving great information on the markets as they unfold. And I believe, mate, you managed to catch all three markets, don't you, throughout the day, most of the time?
I generally, I've fallen out of routine a bit over the closing season. But my preference is to get in start my day about an hour and a half prior to the Asian session, just running through Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then trade sort of the first half of the Asian session, depending on the action. Then I'll generally take a break and go live life during the afternoon or have a bit of a sleep.
Yeah.
And then come back and start tuning back into New York. So I'll catch up on macro, see what's happening, etc., and then settle into New York. And if the trade turns up, it turns up.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So obviously able to capitalize on the two most volatile markets. London isn't really that much anything to shout about, but yeah, obviously catching Asia, catching New York is what you want. But yeah, let's see who else we've got joining us. We've got Mr. Tickle joining, saying good morning. We've got Steve saying howdy to you, mate. And we have Adebimpe. Sorry if I've just butchered your name there. Saying hi, hello to you. I've not seen you before, so do make sure that you drop a subscribe, and do make sure everyone drops a like on this stream today. But yeah, I've got the obviously I've just loaded my chart up as we're doing the intro. For anyone who didn't see this last week, Stonksy turned green on Wednesday and has caught the pump back up towards 100k, and it did on most altcoins as well that we've covered since then. Obviously, I did stream Saturday evening, and we had a look at some good altcoins, had a nice discussion. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to today. So do make sure as well you get your comments in, and any altcoins you want us to look at throughout the stream. I will make a note. But yeah, we'll be looking at what Imagine Project has got in store for us today as well. So I'll stop sharing my screen, mate, and I'll add yours to the stage if you fancy.
Yeah, actually, I've just noticed something really interesting.
Yeah, well, you're on, mate.
Okay. So
go.
I just loaded up the index, which is the all-time spot price.
Yeah.
And I just realized we actually went over 100,000. We went to 108,287.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we did.
Wow. Okay. Because I normally look at the Bybit chart.
Yeah.
And the Bybit chart went to 99,887.17. So I was completely oblivious to the idea that we'd actually broken through.
Yeah, it went to what did it go? I think it went to 104 originally. I think something like that.
It looks like it went to 108 to
and then we got a dip back below 100k, and then it had this, and then it had a second leg up, I believe. and then went to 108, and then we plummeted down from there.
What time did that do that? Like, I'm actually in a bit of a shock.
It wasn't. I think it was before Christmas. It was because we had obviously the dip before Christmas.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just had a bit of confusion. Sorry, mate. It didn't go there today.
No.
Right. So I just had a moment of confusion there. I apologise for that.
It's all right.
I was actually in shock.
Yeah, that would have been a mass amount of volatility, wouldn't it? If we would have went to 108k today, then back down to 100.
So we went to 99,882. Because usually there's not that much of a divergence between futures and spot. I was like literally in shock. I was completely missed that. All right, everything's okay. All right, wow.
Yeah, we're back on track now. You're back with us. We've got Esfer in. Esfer, how you doing? Esfer saying you're always on the radio with Imagine Project. Yes, and yeah, good trading as well. Esfer, I've seen you've put some nice trading.
Yeah.
Them image screenshot things. I don't know exactly what they're called, but I've seen you put a few of them in recently. Yeah, so superb trading. Well done.
Yeah, Esther's an incredible trader. She's much better than I am. I'm probably more a bit of a market analyst.
Yeah.
Whereas Esther's a savage trader. Like, wow, I've seen her in action, and she's savage. It's
incredible. I think, to be honest, that's what sort of I've transitioned to over the past year. Is sort of being more of an analyst and less of a trader. To be honest, I think sort of, especially with covering Stonksy, pretty much every day and the markets for the last 3 months, it's more so looking at the markets and analysing them, and less of classifying myself as probably a trader.
So I was wondering, Dave, if I'm sure a lot of people are interested as well. Like, how long have you been involved in crypto, and how long have you been a trader?
Yeah, so I got originally into crypto in late 2022. I think I bought my first Ethereum in late 2022, late 2020. I bought my first Ethereum at I think it was $400, something like that. And then I bought one, and then I just started buying it all up. Then, and before you knew it, I'd pretty much just emptied all my savings into crypto within the span of about a week or two. It
was a pretty good upcycle to get involved.
Yeah, and then I was just sort of just doing it on the side. To be honest, I wasn't even trading then. I was just holding spot, and that was all throughout 2021. Just holding spot. Didn't know how to place any trades or anything. It was just all holding spot and mostly spot ETH. And then in 2022, I thought I started to trade a little bit, and obviously watch videos on how to trade and stuff. And then in 2022, I think it was April. Because it was a week before Luna collapsed. I quit my job in the start of April, give them a month's notice, and then went full-time trading in 2022, and then did.
So does that mean you de-risked on your spot and transferred across to margin?
Yeah, well, luckily, because I'd quit my job a week before Luna collapsed. When I quit it, I thought I'm gonna have to sell a decent portion of this, just for obviously whatever happens, but also just to give myself a bit more security as well. So I actually managed to offload a decent amount of my portfolio before Luna collapsed, just because it coincided with me quitting my job, just to get free me up some capital, give me a bit more runway, just in case things went bad.
Wow, that's a bit of fortune.
I mean, still took a heavy hit, as probably everyone else did who was holding spot at that time. But yeah, luckily for me, it coincided with probably one of the most historical events in crypto, alongside Mount Gox and FTX with the collapse of Luna. And then I did that for about 9 months, about 9 months, and then I started doing little bits for Jordan. And then
were you friends with Jordan prior to trading?
No, I was just a viewer. Yeah, I was just a viewer. And then I got involved with Crypto Saving Expert, and then obviously fully transferred over to Stonksy as we pushed Stonksy out.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for being a part of developing Stonksy. Stonksy is incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you can see on the chart there, an incredible cycle catcher. You go back to 2020 when it turned green on the weekly chart.
Yeah,
and then obviously went red for a couple of weeks there, as you can just see to the left. Then we had a no trade zone, and then red downwards from 40k, and then it's been green on the weekly. So in terms of trying to catch the cyclical plays as well, it can be great for looking at when is potentially the cycle over, or when are we going to shift trend at least. When are we going to shift trend? And as you can see there, an ideal trend catcher for the big monster moves that we have every couple of years.
I'm actually incredibly excited, and I know this isn't a popular opinion, but I'm very excited for when it goes red.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because it will come down, twice as hard as it went up.
The last down cycle lasted 669 days, I believe.
So I think it was 500. I think it was 500 and something, but maybe.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Just 1 moment. I'm just going to switch my mic off. I apologize, Dave. I've just got a friend turn up. Sorry, 1 moment. I'll be back.
Yeah, no worries. I can carry on. Oh yes, let's see. We've got in the chat. We've got Scotty saying hello, everyone. Hello to you, Scotty. We've got Droopy Doo saying afternoon, folks. Hello, Droopy. The weekly chart on point. Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? For catching the big cyclical moves, superb. We've got Saber Crypto saying morning. Hello, mate. Hello. Looking forward to our stream on Wednesday. I cannot wait for it. Nice catch up, because I haven't spoke to you since before Christmas, have I? On stream. So yeah, very much looking forward to a Wednesday stream with you. It'll be great. Wiz, I know you're excited for the shorts. I already know you are. I bet you sat there rubbing your hands together now. And we got Esther saying the Imagine Project trained me well. Yeah, he's a great guy, isn't he? Great guy. And if you aren't signed up to Stonksy, you do get full access to the Discord. When you do sign up to Stonksy, me and Imagine Project will also be doing a lounge meetup in the Discord after this stream. So that's obviously just for Discord members, and we will be covering topics around crypto every single week. So it's going to be every Monday, and we'll be looking at not charts but topics where we can discuss and look at different things compared to what we do on stream. So today's one will be market psychology. So managing emotions in the market, and when to try and identify points of fear, FOMO, euphoria, depression in the market, etc. So yeah, that'll be great. Like I say, if you aren't signed up to Stonksy, do click the link in the description to sign up to Stonksy. And if you haven't already, click the first link in the description and sign up to BLOFIN. Best place for you to trade in 2025. Non-KYC exchange, so you just sign up with an email. Very simple process to trade your spot, your futures, whatever you want. So yeah, do sign up to BLOFIN. But yeah, we'll wait for Imagine Project to come back with us. I'll just take the lead for now. And we'll and then he's got something great planned to to look at last life cycle structure compared to this cycle structure.
Yeah, I'm back.
He's back.
Yeah,
he's back. There we go.
So I'm going to get into. So this is kind of how I start my session every day. So I'll start with the weekly.
Yeah.
move to the 3-day, then the daily, then the 12-hour, and that's the macro. And to start heading in towards micro, I'll start with the 4-hour and work my way down from there. So just to get into cycles, I have been on, I guess, the bearish side since about the 8th of December. Not because I'm personally bearish, because like a lot of people, I just want Bitcoin to go up forever.
Yeah.
But as you know, Dave, that doesn't happen. So yeah. I've just gone back to a naked chart, no drawings, and this pains me, but I'm just going to switch off Stonksy for a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
And I'm literally going to switch off everything. So this is what's called a naked chart, which means all you can see here is price action, which is visually represented by candles. So I'm sure most people are familiar with what a candle is. But just very basically, a candle represents where the price has spent the most time within that period. So this one's the weekly. And the wicks represent the high point and the low point. So I'm sure most people understand what a candle is that are watching this. So I've been looking at the cycle that we've been in, and I've been reading it as a topping cycle, mainly due to the turbulence we've been having recently. Mm-hmm. And I know it's put a lot of people through the ringer, myself included. But looking at the weekly every day, I was forming this idea, not an opinion, but an idea based on the chart, that we're in this phase of the cycle. So we'd run into a top, and we're going to come into a correction. So that correction from peak to trough ended up being 55.5%. So if we extrapolate that to the current situation, 55.5% would actually bring us back to this area here, which is just below August the 5th. I don't know if everyone remembers August the 5th, but it was the unwinding of the macro markets based on the Bank of Japan raising interest rate by 10 points. And that area there was also a resistance area on the run up, and it ended up turning into a support area. So initially I observed and formed an idea that we had come into this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think it was last Wednesday that I realized that we may not be. And I realized that run up actually looks a lot like this. And that run up that impulse started on, arguably, I mean, where you draw your fib levels is sort of up to each person. But if I was to take the impulse from sideways action, I'm going to take, so are you okay if I take this as the impulse here, that candle there?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I draw it from there as the start of the impulse, oh, sorry, I went too far, apologize. Into there, the pullback and not a correction came in just under the 382.
Mm-hmm.
So if I bring that back to where we are today, and let's say this is the week of the election here, and so I'm sure everyone's familiar with the term Trump pump. So we take this as the impulse through here and run it through. So as you can see, it ran into just under the 382. So that is quite eerily similar to running just under the 382 here.
Yeah.
And on top of that, that was exactly 4 years ago.
Yeah. So at the moment, it's pretty much a carbon copy play of what we're currently seeing.
Is that what you see as well?
Yeah, the similarities were plain as day, aren't they?
Yeah.
For that phase of early 2021 compared to what
and considering the same action into just under the 382.
Yeah.
So I've had to reassess this idea that we've in this stage of the cycle and starting to realize that we're most likely, like, this move back up started on the 25th of January, whereas this move in this instance started a touch early on the 30th of December. But if we take it into account that the cycle this year actually ran early by about 3 weeks due to the institutions front running the halving. So if we bring back the cycle 3 weeks, it's the same date that we started moving upwards. The same period.
Yeah.
Within the cycle. So at the moment, we're front running the cycle by 3 weeks. So the cycle's been reset.
Yeah, and still, I mean, even just the structure, the structure of it there, you can see it looks like the same sticking points that you have. When you pull up any sort of wick off chart, you have the markup, but then you do have a little sticking point.
Yep.
Where people sort of think it's the top and sell, or they think it's over, and then you do get the final impulse move up before you get distribution.
Yeah, and that's what I started noticing. I think it was last Thursday. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring in the volume. And if we project into that phase of the market, there is a little bit of a difference in volume. So you'll see coming to Christmas, there was a slight dip, but then volume took off again.
Yeah.
Whereas this cycle, as you can see, there is a similar shape in volume, but you can see it's much lower volume. But the shape is still very similar. So what I've been able to assess out of that is in this cycle here, global liquidity was at historical highs, which is for macro people out there. M2 supply was at historical highs. M2 supply is liquidity to the household.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas right now we're at close to a global low, which is liquidity of M2 supply. So basically, the ability for households to have money to invest, basically. So, but outside of that, you can actually see the volume is a very similar shape.
Yeah.
So I guess I have to reassess the idea that we've hit the top of this cycle and we're going to have a 55% correction. And now a correction is different from a pullback. A pullback, everyone enjoys buying the dip. But this period here is a correction before a second rip. Mm-hmm. Now, I have heard differing sort of ideas. There are people that are saying that we've started the bear cycle, but there are other people saying that the first quarter of 2025 could possibly be electric to the upside. What's your thought on that?
I think we are still bullish. I think we could probably potentially see because the interesting thing about last cycle was you see obviously after that correction where it bounced, and you see when it started to roll over there. So after we got the 55% correction and then we got the bounce, up until the point of the second leg, that would look like obviously the first top, and then that was what you'd call complacency, isn't it? So you call that complacency of where people think we're going back to all-time highs, etc. Now, if you look at them 3 big weekly candles that we got, that was during the hype of the Bitcoin ETF futures launch.
This cycle?
If you remember that last cycle? Yeah, the last one.
Last cycle. Okay,
that was when the futures ETFs launched. So there was like a major catalyst for that draw up at the end of 2021.
Bang, bang, bang. Yep.
No, sorry, a bit more to the right. So if you go a bit more right, so after the correction, them.
Yep.
So that was sort of leading into the ETF futures for Bitcoin. So whether you call that a natural second top, or whatever you call it, obviously it did create a second top. But up until that point, it looked like it was starting to roll over, and that would have been, your complacency bounce there. Before we did get obviously the second run to 69k.
So just in case anyone's unsure of what complacency means, now correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. It means we hit a point where buying the dip was the norm.
Yeah, so it's sort of the point where you obviously have the top, you have the correction, and then you have the bounce, and then obviously people get complacent thinking we're going back, we're going higher, which in actuality, it's just a dead cat bounce, and then obviously then it rolls over properly. Kind of what we saw if you go a bit further right, so like around March, April 2022-ish.
Yep.
So that sort of bounce,
those 2 panels there.
Yeah, that sort of bounce, a push to the upside, and then it rolls over.
Well, that was Terra Luna there.
Yeah.
I hope we're not bringing up too much PTSD out there.
Then obviously, that leads you on to, obviously for the title of the video that I've put today as well, is how high we can go. So if you, obviously with your sort of shift of mindset on where you think, potentially we are, where do you think we could probably potentially see a run up to in Q1 if you are adopting that
we've got a wild card this year, Dave, and as everyone knows that Trump gets inaugurated in 14 days.
Yeah, 2 weeks today.
Yep. So the wild card this cycle is it's the first time we've had a major institution, which is the American government, go proposing full support for crypto, in particular Bitcoin. So I don't know if he's completed the purchase of BAT, the exchange that was in a negotiation leading into the election. And a lot of that was due to his son, Barron Trump, being very pro-crypto.
Yeah.
So the other proposal that a lot of people are very excited about is the Bitcoin Reserve. So his proposal is to put 2 million whole Bitcoin into that reserve. So the debate reigning is where does he get those from? So that debate will rage on. We can just observe. Mm-hmm. The other thing that he's proposed is no capital gains for American crypto businesses. So that'll include all of the American crypto businesses. So his idea is that he will actually bring crypto businesses that have gone offshore back home. So that's his idea there. So that's a major. Those two things are major. They're macro events. They're no longer crypto events. They're major events. So a lot of the hype and hope surrounding that scenario could actually turn into retail coming back into the market. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at data analytics, the only retail that's been involved in crypto up until this point has been South Korea, China. China's been in an easing cycle for about 2 years. Singapore, Hong Kong, but yeah, the vast majority of Asia major. So if you look at analytics, you'll find that retail actually hasn't come into crypto at this point from America or from Europe. Europe's understandable considering the political turmoil across the EU there. But there are a lot of people on the sidelines in America and Canada, and obviously South America, that I suspect are highly anticipating some of the fiscal promises that Trump has made to start following through. Yeah. If that happens, not assuming that it happens, but if that happens, Bitcoin could go on an enormous run, Now, if that run that occurred happens, and we're following this pattern, that was a 125% run. So 125% run from that move. Now, this is just a hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
125% run. Holy, wow. Okay.
Gonna have to add more space to the upper bit of the screen.
So we'll take it to $205,000.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, obviously the time scale is different because no two cycles are exactly the same, and obviously there will be slight differences. But you could potentially even if it's not so much even a Trump infused rally, just looking at obviously the formation of the chart, you could easily see a couple of big blow off candles towards 150ish potentially, even if it doesn't go as high. As mirroring last cycle's moves.
Well, I think one of the things to look at in this scenario is the market cap. So the current market cap of crypto is 3.52 trillion, which is near highs. And Bitcoin's market cap is 1.962 trillion. A 125% from here would take it to about 4 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the sort of conjecture around that is the gold market cap is at 18 trillion approximately. No, there's no real figure. That's an estimation. So that would still put it at, that would take it to about 22% of the gold market cap, which in kind of, that's low, right? If yeah. Bitcoin is digital gold and we are transitioning into a digital world, that's still quite low to be that in that region. So
that would take it above. That would take it above anything on the stock market, though, wouldn't it? That would take it above Nvidia. It'd take it above. Because I think, well, I don't know. I haven't looked in a while, but I think the last time I checked, Nvidia was around 3 trillion or something. It might have corrected by now. That was, that was probably a month or two ago.
Yeah, but it like the one of the factors around that is that the other proposal that Trump will probably pass first is crypto will go under the jurisdiction of the CTFC, which is the commodities sector.
Mm-hmm.
So the clarity that everyone wants from the SEC will no longer be a topic.
Yeah.
So if that happens, it'll come. It's a bit blurry because if it gets classified, because all commodities are physical items, so it would be a groundbreaking moment turning a digital asset, so defining a digital asset as a commodity. And if that occurs, that I believe that will be the largest catalyst for Bitcoin beyond the reserve and it'll be a society changing moment at that point.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to come. I mean, I doubt we'll get it all at first, but I assume there will be at least one thing to come pretty quickly after obviously he takes back the reins. What that is, I don't know, but I assume because they probably won't rush to do everything at once. But I assume we probably get one thing in line to show I'm following on from the promises that I made.
Yeah.
What that is, I don't know, and obviously nobody knows unless you're in the know. But I assume we probably won't get it. He's got 4 years to obviously deliver what he promised. What we get within the first couple of months or whatever is obviously anyone's guess. But I do assume that he'll probably deliver on a couple of things that he said he will. Where Bitcoin will be at that point is also interesting. Does it catalyze a blow off top? Does it catalyze potentially a bounce after a correction? What does it do? I don't know. But
he'll have to deliver on something, because if he doesn't deliver on something, it's going to cause a crash. Because it'll be interpreted as him reneging on his promises.
Yeah, that's why I assume that we'll probably get one thing, fairly quickly. But as to what it is, we'll obviously have to wait and see. But the good thing is, there's not really that much of a wait. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Does he do something straight away? What does he do? It'll be interesting.
Well, I guess if I was in control of that fiscal policy, I'd take the low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit would be shifting jurisdiction from the SEC to the CTFC. So that's what I would do. That's just a legislative process through Parliament, bang, through Senate, sorry, and up and running. So to me, that's low-hanging fruit. Unless... The other thing, too, that is a thought, what if he's already accumulated the 2 million Bitcoin? So these are unknowns, at least to me. So, but that was not trying to bring in some sort of false sense of bullishness. I'm very much data and charts. That's my focus.
Yeah, and that should that should always be the pinpoint of it. You don't want to latch on to just just a false sense of narrative, do you?
Yeah, I found in the bear cycle, I lost a lot of money in that cycle, a lot more than I could imagine even having in the first place.
Yeah.
And so I stopped listening to narratives, and so I've been studying macroeconomics for about 7 years. So I decided at the same time I started studying macroeconomics, I decided deliberately to stop listening to narratives, which gets me to this point, I guess. So I'm much more about fundamentals and not about storylines.
Yeah, and that's always the best way to be. The chart should always be the pinpoint of where you start and where you end. You can obviously fit some things in terms of timeline and events to watch out for and stuff like that. But
did you see Coffee's comment there? It actually is in line with what I sort of think as well.
Yeah. Well, because the interesting thing about that is obviously a lot of there's a good portion of the Bitcoin that the US hold is obviously the Silk Road Bitcoin, and that's the Bitcoin that they're constantly, when you see the headlines, US government is moving Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin that they're moving, the Silk Road Bitcoin. So obviously, that's something that I've not really seen anyone mention is the realization that Bitcoin, because it was like, I think it was about double. It's about double the amount, of that the German government sold last year. Is made up of the Silk Road Bitcoin that they seized. But obviously, that event of, are they going to suddenly dump it? When they're constantly moving it around like they do.
Sorry, what was that? What did Germany do? This is new to me.
They sold, I think it was like 3 or 4 billion worth of Bitcoin. I think it was. Back in, I think it was August, was it? Or no, it was just before. It was right before the Nikkei collapse. That on that day where it dropped like 10%. The German government sold I think it was like 3 billion. I can't remember the exact figure. I think like the week or two before.
So that's the candle before the week of the August the 5th.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, that was. I think that was the. I think I can't remember when they started selling. Obviously it's a while ago now. But when you suddenly get maybe like a flash crash and stuff when the US government moves Silk Road Bitcoin. If obviously then that is locked down, because they could still do that now. The Democrats could still go and dump Bitcoin on the market if they wanted to, up until 2 weeks.
That was a 19% pullback. Then the following week, the Bank of Japan announced the first interest rate rise in about 5 years. So back-to-back weeks, and so that whole move from peak to trough was basically 30%. Wow. That's good information. Thanks, Dave. I didn't realize that was the cause.
Yeah, that was they were just slowly walking the price down. So yeah, that was but yeah, obviously then, there has always been, the similar scenario of, is the US going to sell the Silk Road Bitcoin that it seized? But obviously that sort of fear factor, if you can call it that, would be removed once it's locked down. But it's not to say that that the Democrats couldn't just go and dump what they wanted right before Trump gets in. That could still happen as well. But yeah, that's another factor that I've not really seen too many people mention is,
Oscar on comments says, no need to worry about the Silk Road BTC. I have done an OTC deal with the US government. Good on you, Oscar. Thank you. All right.
Just in saving the day again. Just in saving the day again. It must be a Justin thing, mustn't it? Because Justin wanted to negotiate with the German government to OTC. Well, he says that he probably just trying to be the knight in shining armor. But yeah, it must be a Justin thing. Justin wants is organising an OTC deal for a couple billion, which if
today's price, that would be closer to 5.5 billion, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so they would. Yeah, it was around. It's been around. What was it? I don't know exactly what the final end. The exit thing was, but I assume the average buyout was probably around like 57 something K maybe.
Right. So instead of following Michael Saylor, we should start following Justin, right?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, he's a very cool guy. I should definitely have him on the stream at some point soon as well. Fantastic trader. So
wow.
Yeah, but yeah, there we go. Not all heroes wear capes, but Justin does. So
fantastic.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought in it, and it's probably we're still early on in 2025, so there's a lot of price action to unfold. But where we go from here, or particularly over Q1, will be very interesting.
Yeah. Just give me a moment. I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, you go for it, mate. You go for it. But yeah, do make sure you go and subscribe to Imagine Project's YouTube channel. I have linked it in the description. Like I said before, he's always active in the Stonksy Discord, posting, charts. He's always in the Stonksy Radio. And yeah, obviously we are discussing, possibilities here, but he just strictly works off the chart. It's obviously good to discuss, potential narratives or, price direction from, events and things like that. But yeah, you should always start with the chart, end with the chart. You can have dates and events highlighted on your chart and things like that. But it's all if buts and maybes until it happens. So yeah, it's good to cover though for sure, because obviously this is an event that's coming up within the next 2 weeks. But like I mentioned before, as and when we potentially see some of these implementations is anyone's guess. So we'll just have to see what happens, and the way that the market reacts from there. But yeah, the worst thing you can do is potentially say this time in 2 weeks we're going to be at 120k because Trump takes office. It's not exactly going to work like that. But undoubtedly we will get market reaction from decisions that he makes. So it'll be interesting to see for sure. I think you might have muted your mic, mate. You're not back on the mic yet, but I see you moving the screen. I cannot hear you anyway. So
we're just having a very quick portfolio breakdown with my mate. I'll be back in about 10.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'll take over.
Yeah.
Go on. Just type in the chat when you're ready to come back on.
Thanks, mate.
So there we go. We have a Imagine project coming back on very soon. So I'll put my chart back on there. And shall we scatter through some altcoins in the meantime? But yeah, obviously it's good to have guests on. It gives a different type of view and vantage point for for the market to get different perspectives and plans on. But yeah, let's have a look. Oh, DOP's on a bit of a ripper today, up nearly 7%. If we scatter through, so these are all ones that I've had open. These were all recommended. I'll get rid of some of them. But yeah, if you do, what's Chill Guy doing? Just chill. That was a good one from last week's streams. If you was in it, but yeah, Sui on the breakout run. Obviously, we got to push above $5 last week, and it's just consolidating at the moment. But yeah, do let me know what season is it? It is Solana season. But yeah, we do have 38 people in, so do make sure that you drop a like on the stream, please. It will help me out massively. And yeah, good viewership. So thank you for joining. We'll have Imagine Project back on with us to discuss other things on the high time frame market, or potentially we could ask him to show us what he's been trading over the past few days. And Justin saying that he has single-handedly pumped up this morning. So there we have it. Also been adding more Sol season. Yes, as was I last week. But yeah, DOP has been on the move. So these big candles that you can see here was likely probably formed by Justin, scooping up some more DOP. But yeah, do let me know what you want me to look at. I don't think, really besides Bitcoin, which, it's had obviously a little push up through yesterday and today. Pretty much, you can see Solana consolidating since last week. Sui consolidating since last week. What's ETH done? A little tiny push up alongside Bitcoin, but it's come back down now. So yeah, if you do want me to have a look at any altcoins, we can have a look. But it doesn't really, unless it's like a big movie, that's just gone against the grain of the rest of the market. It doesn't really look like we'll have much change from Fridays or Saturday night stream in terms of looking at altcoins. So really, we want ones that have potentially like. I thought Velo might have moved a bit more, judging that it was up 5%. What about FTM? FTM's on a bit of a rollover. But yeah, let me know what we could pull up, or we could have a look at some STG. Mate, I thought that you'd gone and got some treatment for that. You keep putting in that you've got an STG. But I thought you'd already been to the doctor and sorted that out, Wiz. So let me add some background music on as well. I forgot to put it on before. I thought that there was something missing. A bit of ambiance. Let's have a look at STG anyway for my mate Wiz. But you really do need to go and get that treated, mate. You do really need to go and get that treated. get some cream or some tablets from the doctor. And yes, it has been ripping, hasn't it? It has been ripping since Thursday last week. Went up by nearly 50%, something. 37, still up over 17% from the Stonksy background color change. He caught it from you, Dave, mate. He didn't actually. He caught it in Amsterdam. And let me believe you, he's coming nowhere near me until he goes and gets that treated. So until he goes to the doctors and gets all that solved for that STG, he's coming nowhere near me. Audio and sushi. Oh yeah, we'll have a look at those. Let's have a look at some audio and sushi. Let's see. Audio and a bit of sushi time. It's sushi time. Let's see. Audio. Oh, look, what a nice range that is. What a nice trading range that is. I assume you've just been smacking this either side, Justin, by looking at it. I assume you've just been smacking it just up and down. What a beautiful little lower time frame trading range that is. From when did it form? That Friday. Yeah. I assume that you've just been going smack, 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 smack. Higher time frame. Let's have a look. Oh yes, yeah. It's really compressing now, isn't it? Obviously, we do have it still within the range that it formed 2.5 years ago. But as you can see, it really compressed in 2024. We got a little push up, drop back down. And as you can see, it has got plenty of room to run to the upside. So I assume this is another one that you've been picking up. I've got a couple of drawings on here. I don't know what these are for. I must have looked at this the last time you was on. I assume that you've been picking up some spot or building some leverage longs on this. But it did get a nice retest as well, didn't it? Of sort of the within the high time frame range. It obviously formed this throughout July to November. Of where it was really compressed and rammed in this tight range, and then obviously breakout, retest. Looks like it's bouncing. Check out sushi. Yeah, I will check out sushi. Celebrating a cow long. Very good. Big time. When in Rome. Clear accumulation should pop. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it, doesn't it? It looks like it's ready to pop. Another one that was, I've not really looked at it much, but Filecoin is one of the large caps that's really yet to sort of kind of run. You know, it's not really even too far away from. We was obviously looking at this, I think on Friday's stream, I think it was. But you know, even from its cycle lows, it's only really up. 2.5x, around 150%. Here it is. It's one of today's top gainers. 44th, it's ranked. So it's one of the ones, right within, the top 50-ish that's really yet to have a breakout run. Too. So this is one I was looking at, I think on Friday, I think we were looking at it. But yeah, similar sort of structure in it, just clear accumulation, bottoming process. And another one that's really yet to, break out after 2.5 years. You've been doing both perps and spot. Very nice, very nice. So let's add sushi. What was it? Oh, we've got sushi on there. So let's add Big Time and Mavia. Big Time and Mavia. That jalapeno was requested as well. Mavia. Itchy on my arm. Let's go and have a look at sushi anyway. Oh, sushi. I remember trading this. This was loads of fun to trade. When was it? I think it was this range. I remember trading back in 2022. I'm sure it was this one. I've even got some annotation there from nearly 2 years ago. This little box, I'm not sure what that was highlighting. Yeah, this range was a lot of fun to trade back in 2022. I remember smacking this. But yeah, another one holler like Phil, like Audio, really get to run from, a 2.5 year high time frame range. And then similar to Audio, and probably a lot of charts, to be fair, we had this compression last year from, H2 onwards, July towards the end of the year. Then breakout, decent, what's that? 54% pullback. And plenty of room to run on it as well. This will probably be one that really, starts to run as well once ETH network volume really starts to. There's an ETH DEX in it. I'm sure Sushi Swap is an ETH DEX. Probably available on loads of others now. But I'm sure that's where it started. Harper. Burger. Let's have a look. We'll pull Burger up on the chart as well. And Harper. We'll just make our way down. That was terrible, wasn't it? I remember looking at this. I think I put this in the Discord when it came in and retested sort of these lows. And yeah, shit the bed after that, didn't it? It's interesting when you go back on a chart like that and you see drawings from ages ago. So this is big time that Mr. Tickle, I think, asked for big time. And that's, kind of the level to break on the weekly, innit? Is where it keeps being rejected off sort of these closes and opens. Let's have a look at Mavia. Oh, wow. Yeah. So this, oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, I've already got something drawn on Mavia. I must have looked at Mavia at some point as well. One of you guys must have put it in. Yeah. Demand tested again. Demand coming in, bouncing nicely. And for something like this now, it created obviously a new low in terms of post-launch price action. Really simple invalidation on something like this. It's obviously come in, tested the demand zone again, bounced. So, if it starts to break towards new lows and completely loses this zone where it's come in and saw buyers step in, then to get out. Burger. Had something drawn on Burger as well. I don't remember looking at Burger. I'm guessing this is one where we zoom out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. God, look at that for a candle. That was a decent candle, wasn't it? Yeah, you can probably find so many of these charts, can't you? And they will just probably start popping off one after another before, they reach a point where people that have accumulated this zone sell, and people that bought all the way down go, oh, I've got an opportunity to get out here. But yeah, Burger is another one, same as some of the others that we've looked at. Clear accumulation, bottoming out phase on a high time frame as well. Harper. Another similar sort of one, innit? Obviously, it's had decent pumps on the weekly before, but then come back and again, came in and sort of tested the lower end of its accumulation. for demand, which held there nicely. Yeah, no doubt at some point these will, start popping off one after another. But yeah, it's probably loads like this, isn't there? You could probably scale through like the top, 100, 200. Well, probably not the top 100. Most of them probably filled with memes that I've already ran. When you start to go from 100 to 200, maybe even 200 to 300 from coins launched in the bear or, last cycle, where they've just got a clear bottoming out accumulation phase. What are your thoughts on Tau? Well, it's the biggest AI coin in it, so if AI gets the narrative again, I would expect it to pump, but it probably will just be dragged because of the size of it as well. It'll probably just be dragged along for the ride in terms of where altcoins are moving. But it had a decent pump. It went below $200, didn't it? In August last year, and then I think it got back to it's on here somewhere. Where is it? I remember looking at it. I think on Saturday night. I think it was. I'm sure it's on here. Maybe it's not. I do remember looking at it. Let's get it up. Obviously, it'll probably get its biggest pump once AI becomes a narrative again. But because of the size of it, it'll probably just be dragged along for the ride anyway. But yeah, clear demand. Yeah, this was the one I was on about, yeah. Same time when everything sort of kind of got its final capitulation wick during that long range that Bitcoin had, 167. So I had a decent bounce, yeah. But obviously, yeah, this is weekly demand. So as long as it comes into this looks like a good buying opportunity, unless it starts to break below. Then you probably look for a retest of there. So maybe, if we do get a kind of market wipeout, a wick down to there for a retest of 350. But apart from that, yeah, in full, bullish altcoin markets, how high could this go? Who knows? But you would probably target at least filling in the Binance wick, and then potentially higher. Who knows? Do make sure everyone drops a like on the stream as well, and do make sure you subscribe. And if you are obviously looking to trade in 2025, do make sure that you come and sign up to BLOFIN. First link in the description, and I'll pop it in the chat now. The best place for you to do your spot and futures trading. So, if you're looking to buy and sell any of your spot holdings, or obviously looking to reach, a futures target, whether you're starting off with a challenge account or whatever, it's non-KYC. So it's the best non-KYC exchange that you can go for. Do sign up in the description or the link in there. And yeah, if you are in a region where you find it troublesome to, get on non-KYC exchanges, if you pop a VPN on, put yourself somewhere else, you can get on there. What about Link for a short time trade today? I don't know. We could have a look at it. With FTM converting to Sonic, is it still worth to trade FTM? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know when is that switch over happening. When is that switch over happening to Sonic? FTM is just like a really volatile coin anyway. But no doubt it probably might get, be subject to a bit more volatility as maybe people sell leading into the switch over or whatever. I don't know. Tapbit had a 5-minute candle, dump 21%. Yeah, there's been a few like that recently. Arauchi was giving us some good data on, what was it, Friday, was it? I think it was Friday, wasn't it? Yeah. About, Coinbase data. So it's good you coming back in with some of that, mate. Appreciate that. Dusk. From dawn till dusk. Let's go and have a look at Dusk. You know what the word Dusk reminds me of, right? Dusk reminds me of Wii Sports, because I remember when I used to play Wii Sports on the Wii, I always used to select Dusk as the time, the time of the day. It was always the best. Now, what sport was it that I used to play on with it? That was the best at Dusk. Oh, I can't remember, but it was one that was like it was set on like a nice. It had like a nice view in the background and stuff. Now, what was that? Anyone remember? Play Wii Sports. Yeah, Dusk. Oh, great, legendary. What a time to be alive that was. Almost as good as this one. Let's have a look at Dusk. So yeah, Wiz is going from dawn till dusk on Dusk. But yeah, mate, you must have so many positions open. You must have so many positions open. The low leverage longs that you've been building on all these coins. Your account must be stacked with positions. What's this? Just got a notification off Ring that there's somebody at the front door, but I don't think there is. Oh well, we carry on going anyway. Do you know any non-KYC exchanges that support Bitcoin Lightning Network? That is an incredible question, Chef Crypto. Let me check. Let me check if BLOFIN does. What an incredible question that is. I'll be honest, no one has ever asked me that question before. Let's see. No, BLOFIN doesn't do the Lightning Network. I'll tell you what I can do. I can check MEXC for you quickly if you want. Let me see. That's what a question that is. What a question. No, that doesn't do it either. I'll be honest, I don't know. But what I would recommend is that you sign up to BLOFIN. First link in the description. The 19th. So Jalapeno says FTM delist from Bybit on the 10th. So when is the actual switch over then? Mainnet rolls out tomorrow for this Dusk. Another catalyst will be FTX payouts. Now, what you got to remember with the FTX payouts is that a lot of the claims were bought by claims buyers. So when, there's this figure of like, what is it? Is it like 8 billion, 10 billion, something like that, or whatever, of claims being released? You've got to remember that not all that money is going to go back into the market because people bought the claims at such a discount, 50% discount, 70% discount, whatever. And people bought all these claims up. Now, these people are just going to get that money because, you have professional claims buyers, you have companies that do it. And the likelihood is that, a lot of that money won't go in. So that's just something to, be bearing in mind when you see, headlines about FTX payouts are coming in, all this money is going to go back into crypto. A lot of these claims were bought up years ago, when it first happened, throughout the first, say, year and stuff like that. Not all money will go back in. We could see half of it go back in or whatever. I don't know the exact figures on how many claims were bought, if there even is that data. But a lot of these claims were bought at a heavy discount. So, these people or companies that bought up these claims will just get the money, say thank you very much, and that be that. They probably won't put the money back into crypto. But, anyone who held on to the claims and gets the money back, if they're, still into crypto and stuff like that, then, yeah, will probably see that money go back in. But it won't be the full amount. Is it 8 billion, 10 billion, something like that? I can't remember. So, yeah, just something to be wary of on that. I wouldn't expect just a massive giga pump based off these FTX payouts unless the market just pumps alongside it. Then it's either coincidence or maybe it is directly with that. but I believe that they're doing under 50k payouts at the moment, aren't they? So they're the first ones, is claims worth 50k or less. So these are potentially the payouts that people have sold, because obviously people were probably in a desperate situation and things like that, and thought, if I can get, I had 30k on FTX, if I can get 15k back now, or 10k back now, then I'll just take it. So there is probably a lot of these type of claims that were bought up as well. So we'll just have to see, won't we? We'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, just a bit of outside perspective on that, Mark, and for anyone else who might be leaning into the FTX payouts, it probably won't be all that you think it will be. RN says, how can someone knock on the door of someone that lives on a blockchain? It's simple. You don't get a knock on the door. Mr. Tickle says, I lost money because of FTX and held money in BlockFi. They've paid back pennies on the dollar, taken 2 years to get anything back, and was only 1/6 for what it could have been worth now. I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Tickle. So that's BlockFi, is it? Yeah. That's on BlockFi. I remember BlockFi. I never used it personally, but I remember a lot of financial people promoting BlockFi. As they did FTX. FTX pretty much, every sort of like finance podcast, even if it wasn't crypto, FTX was the sponsor of it back then. It was everywhere. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. But you can take that money, can't you? And hopefully, turn it back into at least what you lost, and then hopefully, a nice multiple of that. I'm just gonna have to run the toilet. So yeah, do enjoy. What should I put on? Let's enjoy. What type of chart should we look at? I'll just put a Bitcoin chart on. But yeah, enjoy the Bitcoin chart for now, and I'll be back shortly. 1 to 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. And if in this meantime, if you haven't, do take the time. I guarantee you'll be able to click that BLOFIN link in the description, first one, and sign up with your email before I get back from the toilet. And I guarantee you that. So yeah, go and do that now if you haven't already. And I am back. Thank you very much for everyone who stayed. It looks like we held on to basically all viewers then. Great to see. 1 week chart, says RN. Yes, this is the 1 week chart. Quote says, hello, Dave. Hello, Quote. Great to see you back. It's good to know that you subscribed on Saturday night and came back to see me. Thank you very much. How was your weekend? You'll also have time to open and close a winning trade because Dave is off a massive SH star T. Actually, that's not correct. It wasn't. It was just a little tinkle, But did you open and close a winning trade in that time? That's what I want to know. Karma says if Dave is dumping, the markets are pumping. Yeah, I suppose. What's the short time frame for BTC saying? Depends what you classify as short time frame. I mean, we're on the weekly chart at the moment, so on the 1 hour, we are saying $99,257. Nice bump up from last week, regardless of what happens. You know, even if we get a flush today, take out some liquidity, you know, head towards taking these weekend wicks. Even if that happens, you know, it's still a decent push up, isn't it, from where we was at midweek. So potentially we do see a run of these wicks today. Wouldn't surprise me to see it, you know, come and clear out the weekend build up. Whether it takes all of them, one of them, two of them, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But even in that scenario, you know, still a decent run up. Solana looks like it's getting a little bit of a pump on as well, doesn't it? Yeah, it's going to test where it's found lower time frame resistance anyway from Friday onwards. So this is something interesting to look at now. Let me know. Give me some low caps that you like potentially looking at as well. Give me some low caps. Maybe we could switch things up a bit. Obviously, you know, like I said, you know, for those of you that was here on Friday and Saturday, you know, there's not really much change that we saw in the market apart from a little Bitcoin pump. Altcoins really haven't moved. So maybe we could look at the Stonksy bot is active on BLOFIN. Not yet, no. That's I'm not going to put a time frame on it because I'm not exactly sure where they're up to with it, but I believe it probably could be this month. But yeah, basically, Stonksy, if you're a Stonksy user, you'll be able to connect that to BLOFIN, and then yeah, set it to automatically open and close trades based on the background color. Dave, hello, Droopy Doo. So Droopy Doo is Andy, isn't it? Yeah. I'm a big trend line / pattern guy. It just works for me. Well, that's good. That's good. You know, no matter what you're doing, as long as you've got something that works and you make money from it, who cares? You know, if it's different to, you know, the next guy, doesn't matter, does it? As long as you're making money in printing, doesn't matter. Sorry, I guess I missed how much you expect from BTC. Well, we should have Imagine Project back on. We basically run it. We wasn't really setting an expectation. Basically, what we were looking at was, you know, just how last cycle played out, how this cycle's playing out, and just, you know, the possibilities of where we go. Basically, we were looking at the similarities in market structure to last cycle, and if, you know, a similar scenario plays out, because, you know, no two cycles are the same, but if a similar scenario plays out, you know, we'll probably see a pump towards 120, 130, potentially 140 in Q1. Wednesday might be a move day as an FYI. So there you go. Everyone mark the calendars for Wednesday as a potential move in the markets day. Shop, Teamer, Sol Season, Mog. Mog's not a low cap, is it? I'm sure Mog's... So were these ones that are just on deck screener? Let's go and have a look. We'll have a look at some low caps. Bit more fun in it than just looking at altcoins on there that we look at, you know, every day or every couple of days. Who's excited as well for me to get on Facecam? My camera here, I was testing it out this morning. I need to get my studio light because for some reason, I mean, it's not really surprising because I just have like my main light on in my room. But yeah, it needs better lighting on me. Let's have a look. Shop, Teamer, and Sol Season. We've already got Sol Season loaded up there, so let's do that first. This is, so if anyone didn't know, Wiz in the chat, Wizard of Alt. is the dev of Sol Season, and we are at 237k market cap. If we go to the daily chart, as you can see, it's formed a nice, what you could consider, bottoming out accumulation range. And it's actually coming back to test that kind of on the daily, isn't it now? Here, where it formed the top and the bottom of it. So could we see a bounce from here potentially? We'll probably see it more clearly on the 4 hour as well. It's not really that much clearer, is it? It's clear on the daily. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, this is Wiz's project. So the next one was shop. Let's have a look. Oh, shop. Okay, so I'm guessing that is on TradingView. Shop. This one. Oh, that's stop. Where's this shop? Reggie, where's Reggie, man? Where's shop? Don't look like I can find a shop anyway. That's stop. It doesn't look like there's a shop on Deck Screener. You'll have to let me know. Teamer. Let's have a look at Teamer for Chef Crypto. Let's see. Teamer. This it. Is this it? Oh, wow, okay. Oh yeah. A little bit bigger than Sol Season. A little bit bigger. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely. You just know it's a meme, don't you? Has he got a pump fund contract? But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, when you see ones like this when they just do nothing and then bang, and then nothing for another couple of weeks, and then bang, and then bang. Yeah, it's had a big correction on it. It's had a big correction. I don't know anything about this, so yeah, I can't really give much insight on it. But thank you for sharing. I imagine that you are holding it, Chef Crypto. So all the best to you. I hope you can be very profitable on what you are holding. What else have we got? Dave, if you look at AMB 1 hour chart, which candles would you use for the fib start and finish? Always curious to compare. Let's have a look. On the 1 hour. What's this? I've just had a message through. Just hang on, let me just check this. What's this? Never mind. AMB. Right, we're looking at AMB, weren't we? So on the 1 hour, what would I use for the fib? Depends sort of way. Well, yeah, it depends. What you where are you looking for it to go? Is this for like a scalp, or is this for like a trying to judge a bigger market move? What are you looking for? If it was just this recent PA, I'd probably use that and that. If it's just this recent PA, maybe you could potentially go and put it into there if you wanted as well. If you're even looking for, an even smaller move. Mog's not a low cap, is it? Close. Troy, we looked at Troy loads. Looked at Troy loads recently. Wiz keeps asking for Troy. Yeah, it got shat on, didn't it? Got absolutely shat on, and has now formed, a nice, what looks like, potentially could BART, couldn't it? Potentially it could BART, or at least, be forming a nice low time frame base to build, to go and fill in some of this. Don't know why that's not selected. Yeah, to go and fill in some of this. I mean, what's it looking like on the 4 hour? Yeah, potentially quite Barty, isn't it? Potentially quite Barty. Takeo and Maria, balls deep in Troy. Mate, you're balls deep in everything. Is there nothing that you've just not bought? Here you go. Here's a question for you, Wiz. Here's a question for you. And maybe an interesting one for Justin as well, if you want to share. How many open perps trades do you have at the moment? Because I'm interested, mate. You give me all these great tickers and great looking charts. You say, I've got longs on this. How many open perps trades do you have at the moment? Bert, mate, I'm still holding Bert. I think Bert looks good. It got shat on a bit. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. It had a decent pullback to the lower end of the range that it's in. But yeah, still holding Bert strong, mate. I'm holding Bert strong. I do not hold Teamer. Well, who asked for Teamer? Oh, you just wanted me to look at it. Been buying Troy. I like it. I just needed your analysis. What? Oh, it was Mog, weren't it? It was Mog. Let's see. Oh, Mog's on here somewhere. Where's Mog? Here it is. It's just running, isn't it? It's just been running. Little low time frame consolidation range here. Little low time frame consolidation. Go and have a look at, say, the daily chart. Yeah, it's had a good week, hasn't it? It's had a good week from Thursday onwards. Some nice expansive candles. Imagine that this is going to be a bit of a sticking point for it, like where it's coming into at the moment. A bit of a sticking point for it, but if it can get above there, you know, potentially the route back towards the high. You'd imagine this will be the sticking point for it. Perps. Oh, what have we got? Perps around 20, but having more bids. And Wiz has got around 30. Yeah, so a nice amount. Obviously, you know, for those of you that are here every day, you'll know that Wiz and Justin always give me some good charts to look at, and liquidation point is 0. Well, there you go. If you can't be liquidated, then, you know, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, if you can't be liquidated from a trade, then, you know, the only risk is unrealized drawdown in it. Apart from that, you know, you cannot be liquidated if it's 0. Higher lev stuff is in and out. Appreciate your handwork, mate. Big respect. No, thank you, mate. Thank you for coming in and, you know, giving input into the chat and stuff like that. You know, it's great to see new people come in with the existing legends that I have. But yeah, great stuff. And we are 28 minutes away from US Open, so we'll see if we do get Imagine Project back for that or not. Shop is contract. I can't. Do you know what it is? I can't copy that over. Give me a second. I don't know why. I could go. Actually, I can go on here. Yeah, this is Imagine Project's thing, yo. Anyway, let's see how many of you have subbed to him in that time. 2. Yeah, do go and give him a sub on YouTube. Really great guy. What am I doing here? Right, view your channel. So if I go and view. Yeah, we don't need to hear me speak. Right, where is it? Where's that contract? For some reason, as you can see, it's not coming up. Reggie, where your message for some reason isn't coming up. I don't know why. It seems like YouTube block it. Move top chat at the top. Oh, right, okay. All right, there you go. There we go. There we go. Right. Let me go and have a look at this then. Ah, there we go. 1.5 million market cap. Oh, wow, look at that. Blimey. This has been around a while, this, hasn't it? Jesus. Look at that. Shopino.io. This has been around a long time. It's been around a long time. The liquidity is an issue because it's only got, well, I don't know, maybe Bird Eye will probably give a better overview of the liquidity. But anyway, on deck screen, it's showing 52k, but Bird Eye, might show more. But this got a mega pump, didn't it? It's got a mega pump recently. Down here-ish. Did a 56x. And it did it quite quickly as well, didn't it? I mean, let's go and have a zoom in on this. I mean, it's an older coin, so obviously, someone's been accumulating it, and someone's sent it, or unless, there's been some sort of catalyst. That did, from pretty much there where it was trading pretty much no volume and stuff like that, it very quickly did oh no, I apologize, a 77x. Yeah, 77x in the span of about a week. Insane. Well done. I hope that you caught that. That must have been in the trenches, that, mustn't it? What that market cap have been. Oh, must have been down at around, what, about a 25k market cap or something before it got sent. Yeah, that'd be about right, wouldn't it? Something like that. Incredible. Wow. Well, I hope you caught that. I hope you made some good money on it. Any fears that BLOFIN could suddenly require KYC and then your funds are locked until you provide it? No, not really. TMG said that this was in December, that the non-KYC for another 2 years. But also they give you a grace time. So like Bybit, when Bybit moved to KYC, was it Bybit? Was it Bybit? Yeah, well, yeah, it was Bybit. Yeah, when Bybit moved to KYC, they give you sort of a grace time, to say like in 1 to 2 months or whatever it is, we're moving to full KYC. So they don't just suddenly spring it upon. It won't be like we wake up tomorrow and BLOFIN is saying you need to KYC. No, they would give a period of time, a couple of weeks or whatever. But yeah, Rauchi says that might be solved by a Palau ID. Yeah, you can get a Palau ID. Yeah, good point, but still $250. How long does it take to get it? I think they come quite quickly, to be fair. I'm in a meme coin, and what's your advice to me? What's my advice to you? I mean, take it out once you reach, if it reaches a good point. If it reaches a point where you're like, wow, I've made decent money on this, take it out. On the flip side, don't be risking more than you're willing to lose. So yeah, I think that's the perfect advice, I would imagine. Realised I didn't need to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So BLOFIN, yeah, non-KYC. Go and sign up, Chef Crypto. First link in the description. I'll put it in the chat as well. It takes under a minute to sign up. Does a Palau ID still maintain privacy? Still have your full name and date of birth? I don't actually have one, me. I've never really encountered the need to actually have one yet. But I will probably get one at some point. What it's got on it, I don't know. Maybe someone who's got one in the chat can let us know. Yeah, I think they do have info. Justin, when next meetup? Yeah, we were discussing this, me and Justin, Wiz. And yeah, we probably need to get actually fixated on that. If he's still in the chat, Justin, about organising something very soon, because it's quickly got to January. So we probably need to do it for next month. Yeah, we need to get that all sorted out and boxed off ASAP. Back. Oh, right, okay. Let me unmute you. Hello, mate. Are you back?
Yeah, just I'm sure everyone's I'm sure there are a few people that have been in this situation before where they have a friend that's into crypto and sort of impulse them to enter the fray. So we're just working through because I originally thought he'd just been put into spot, and then we eventually realized he'd been put into 12 margin trades that were unmanaged.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we had to go through the process to, and they were all on cross.
Oh, wow.
So we had to go through the process of de-risking.
Okay.
So when I first addressed the account, which was about 6 days ago, the available balance was in the negatives. So we had to top the account up and then eliminate some of the risk.
Yeah.
The saving grace was the highest leverage was 5x and the lowest was 2.5x.
Okay.
So and so there was spot in there. So the overall account was down about 33%. So we managed to resurrect that a bit over the weekend. We had a bit of a healing back to the upside.
Yeah.
And so from what I've ascertained without speaking to the person that set up those trades is that he didn't know the implications of setting up the account cross. I don't think he realized that it actually puts the spot at risk. So basically, from the look of it, and without speaking to him, he left some USDT in there as cover. But because we've had such a ferocious downturn on the odds since the 8th of December, there were multiple trades that were 130% down. There was one that was at about 150 from memory. So we've just been consolidating and de-risking. And I'm sure there are people out there that have been in a situation where they've been brought into crypto by a friend. I guess to highlight, someone being your friend doesn't mean they know what they're doing. So yeah, that's just sort of the process. So we've just been reconsolidating again after the pump. So there are a few things that did a bit of healing. So yeah, it's just a sobering thought to understand that if you are going to go through the process of jumping in, so basically that account bought the top.
Yeah.
Not to say that, if we'd left it, in 6 to 12 months, all of those trades might be an enormous profit.
Yeah.
But in the interim, like his trading strategy is with options. So options is a steady gain if you play it right. So, his options situations are like 20% a year to the upside, whereas within a few short weeks, this put his account 35% arrears. So it shows you to be careful, I guess.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. It's it can be a dangerous game, can't it? It can be a very dangerous game. It could have easily blew his account up.
Yeah, I mean, but the saving grace was they were low leverage.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's the perks of having, obviously, friends around you that can help you as well, isn't it? Because if he would have been on his own, he probably would have been right up the creek.
I mean, I wouldn't like to claim that I'm some kind of financial advisor, but I'm glad he got in touch with me when he did.
Yeah. There we go. Hopefully, he can help navigate him out of the situation. Hopefully.
Yeah, just on a comment as well. We're about 15 minutes away from New York Open, and we just run into a bit of turbulence. So Bitcoin has sort of turned to the downside, but it looks like there's a bit of turbulence at the moment. So total 3, which is the altcoin. So you were saying total 3 is the top 200, is that right?
It takes into account the top couple of hundred. Yeah, I'm not. I need to figure out. I need to go and figure out exactly where it takes into account. But it's not all altcoins. It's like it cuts off after a select amount. Let me.
Yep.
Do you want to share your screen again? Because you was going to run through total 3, weren't you?
Well, do you want me? Is it okay if I put up my multiple time frames on Bitcoin thing?
Yeah, there you go. I've added your screen again. There you go. So you're on now.
So on the left is the 4 hour, then the next is the 1 hour, the next is the 15 minute, the next is the 5 minute, and the last one is total 3.
Yeah,
they're both on 5 minutes. So the reason why I watch the total 3 constantly is I prefer to trade altcoins. To be profitable on Bitcoin, with my strategy, I can generally have to do 37.5x all the way up to 75x to have clear profit. Yeah. Whereas on altcoins, I can make money off, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0.5% moves, 3% moves. So as everyone knows, altcoins can often move violently.
Yeah.
So we are getting turbulence to the downside. So I watch the S&P. So it opens midday my time on a Monday, and it stays open 24 hours until Saturday 5 a.m. my time.
Super. Right. Well, yeah, we'll get ready for that. We've got 14 minutes to go until US Open. And yeah, we'll see what we're given today. What we're doing. So, what do we have? We've got the 4 hour, 1 hour, 15, and then what was it the 5? And
yeah, so the last 2 are both 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Michael Saylor, he's announced another buy, hadn't he, about an hour ago too. So we are.
So that usually means selling, right?
Yeah, I think we're probably I would probably say we see a dump on open, given that as well.
So the S&P was floating up all day, and it's just done a violent move to the downside. So on Friday, it closed at. I'll just put it. The screen will just get slightly more cluttered because I'm going to bring the watch list in. The S&P closed at 59.42, and the live price at the moment is 59.88, 59.86. So if it maintains this, which I suspect it will, we'll have a gap to the upside.
Yeah.
So in particular on Mondays and Fridays, the movements of Bitcoin closely mirror the S&P. The other thing I'll quickly look at off screen is the DXY.
Yeah, let's have a look.
So one thing I can guarantee out there is that we are going to have a volatile New York session. So DXY is aggressively pushing to the upside right now, which is selling out of risky equity and converting it to the dollar.
Yeah, so we'll see what we're given then, won't we? We'll see what we're given to start the week off. But yeah, given how much did they buy? Let me go and check.
Yeah. And guys out there, that is a beautiful, beautiful answer. Dave did not make a prediction. He said, "Let's see what happens."
Yeah,
that shows you the sign of someone that really knows what they're talking about. When someone tells you what's going to happen, it's often an opinion, whereas Dave just said, "Let's see what happens." and you've got a sign of someone that knows what they're talking about when they say that.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. Thank you very much. But yeah, it's obviously, we do typically see the dump, don't we, after he buys. So I would probably say that we're in line for a red open. But
well, in general, the S&P generally goes in the opposite direction of open, and it's going to gap to the upside. So you'll see total 3 there is peeling off very hard. Yeah, so I'm just looking across a cross section of some of my charts, and we've got layer ones and big caps absolutely dumping right now.
Let's see, Sailor. They bought 1,070 Bitcoin for 101 million. Do you know what? They obviously hold a lot, but they've not really got that much room now, have they? Before they go back to their entry, there's only like 30%. Just under 40%.
The thing is, his loans are collateralized individually at the price he bought them at.
Yeah.
So he might have an average liquidation price, but he was buying at $4,000 or $5,000. So those loans are pretty secure.
Yeah.
So, the ones he's been buying recently are potentially at risk, but his leverage is he can his stocks are transferable, but they're transferable in relation to Bitcoin. So he would have to either give them the Bitcoin or sell the Bitcoin if they called the loans in, or he would send them more MicroStrategy shares. So he's not in danger of liquidation. But as you know, one of the most profitable means of making money is short selling. So what they're actually doing is not attacking Bitcoin, they're attacking MicroStrategy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. It is remarkable, though, isn't it? How much he's bought recently. He's bought a hell of a lot.
He has to.
Very, very short amount of time.
He basically has to at the moment. He has to keep buying. He's got no choice right now because his business. So a lot of people look at the P&L of MicroStrategy, which is a technology company. So that basically operates at slightly under break even. But what people, so they'll say that he's got a negative P&L, but what he's actually done, his net position is built around basically, so MicroStrategy is basically an ETF of Bitcoin. So as long as, so he's collateralized all of his reserve into Bitcoin. So he's got no reserve left. It's all in Bitcoin. But what he's got is shares.
Yeah, yeah.
So even if Bitcoin dumps to like $60,000, he's got a lot of shares.
Yeah.
So as long as that equity remains, he's fine. So the reality is, as long as he can maintain a base level of Bitcoin, instead of being a technology company, he's basically a privately run public company. So he's in a unique position. I'm sure he's got the ear of Donald Trump, or vice versa.
Yeah, well, he met with his son, didn't he, the other day, Eric?
Oh, okay. So I believe Eric will be the CEO of BATS, I believe.
Mar-a-Lago. Right? I don't know, actually.
Right.
I don't know. But Justin says 97,580 is a level to watch to the downside. We are, what are we? Just over $1,000 away from that level to the downside. And we've got Mike Munns, who's late to the parade. What have I missed? Oh, we've loads of fun today, Mike, without you. We've had loads of fun. You really missed it. But do make sure if anyone has just joined, don't forget to drop a like, do subscribe, and do make sure that you click the links in the description to join BLOFIN and Stonksy. And there's a link in there to go and subscribe to Imagine Project's YouTube channel. So do make sure you go and give him a follow over there. But yeah, it is fascinating to watch in real time, isn't it? It really is fascinating to watch.
I'm going to change my screen to. I've got a screen that's all meme coins, big cap meme coins.
Okay, yeah. Let's go for it.
There's a bit of carnage happening right now.
Yeah, let's see it. We all love a bit of carnage. We all love a bit of carnage.
So these are all big cap, well-known meme coins. You got I think you're going to have to put it on stage there.
Oh, let me see. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
So you got Pepe, Doge, Shib, Popcat, Farcoin, Pengu, Peanut, Degen. So Degen is a bit of an outlier. Watch Degen because when it moves, it's aggressive. It's a base coin. So Degen is known as a meme coin, but it's actually a DeFi base chain.
Okay. Interesting.
So you'll actually see Degen's actually pushing up right now.
Yeah, what have we got there that's dumping? Popcat's dumping, Shib's dumping, Doge. Pengu's holding up quite well, isn't it? Peanut's dumping. Farcoin's having a bit.
So Pengu is a little bit different. It's getting a ton of volume from Binance in spot. So we just had a slight suck back by the S&P, and you'll see Bitcoin responded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is the potential here with this kind of action that so I've got 3 minutes to go. There is a possibility that first direction is to the upside. Because the S&P seems to be very contrarian. This is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
First day of the working week, officially back on board. All systems firing again. Do we get another bloody Monday? Because the last 8 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so basically Monday, Tuesdays have been a bloodbath to the downside. Can we break that cycle?
Yeah, interesting to watch, innit? And we are 3 minutes away, probably just more than likely 2 minutes and a bit. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and we'll watch the first move unfold and the reaction to it, and then that will be the end of the stream then. But we have been going 2 hours, so we'll be doing probably around 2 hours 20, something like that today, which is a nice long stream. And then me and Imagine Project are going to be jumping. So when we finish the stream, I'm going to go and get a drink and stuff. We'll have 10-15 minutes. And then are you still on for the Discord? Are you still all right for that, or have you got something on?
No, I'm riding this one out. Like I love this stuff.
Yeah, okay. So those of you that are Stonksy members, me and Imagine Project will be jumping into the lounge in the Stonksy Discord to discuss market psychology. So we're going to be doing weekly lounge meetups where we discuss a topic. So we're not going to be looking at charts because obviously, I do that every day on stream. Imagine Project's looking at that all throughout the day. It's going to be more so topics that we can get some discussion around. So yeah, look forward to that. And if you aren't a Stonksy, member and you want to, get access to the indicator, get access, to the Discord, you can click the second link in the description and sign up to Stonksy today. How did you actually come across Stonksy? Tip?
I was watching Martini last cycle.
Yeah.
And I always found him entertaining. But I always thought he was a bit of a joker.
Yeah.
And then he was doing Stonksy, and I wasn't interested in Stonksy because I wasn't. Yeah, I mean, I've used a lot of indicators, right?
Yeah.
But one day he said that in the last cycle he got really damaged, and he said that's why he created Stonksy, because he needed something that could tell him when momentum shifted. So one night he logged off but kept the stream running, and he showed 4 different time frames of Bitcoin running.
Yeah.
And he left it running for about 3 hours from memory. And I was just watching it, and I was doing my charts and having some trades on. And I was just noticing that each time that I just nailed it. And then, so it was on my radar. And then I was kind of struggling a bit in that, that dip at the end of October.
Yeah.
And I was trading Celestia, Athena. What else was I trading at the time? A couple of those things. So I was trading Celestia to the downside because they had the 33% token unlock. And I was trading Athena because it was getting a lot of press from Arthur Hayes. And as you know, Arthur Hayes is very, very important to crypto.
Yeah.
And he's a partner in Athena. But I was getting absolutely buried on a Celestia trade. And but I hung on to it, and I noticed there was like a slightly higher low on the 1 minute. So I piled into that trade on the hunch that was the bottom of that move to the downside after the unlock.
Yeah.
And so it did go up from there. And so I made the decision that if Celestia got back to break even and into profit, I would close that trade and get Stonksy. And the rest is history.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. So if anyone obviously is wanting, to follow on from the Imagine projects, footsteps and get Stonksy, do click that second link in the description and sign up today. And hopefully see you in the Discord. But we have obviously 2 minutes into the open at the moment. I'll pull. I'll have a look at Bitcoin myself. What have we done? I don't think we've had really much of an explosive. No, we haven't. Not really had an explosive start. We got a slight drop down on the 1 minute. And currently it's looking to reverse that.
S&P is pushing to the upside.
Yeah. So Bitcoin's just gone past. So it's currently in a positive from US Open now by a couple of $100.
Oh wow! Look at Degen. Degen just went nuts.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, Degen's moving. Memes looking like having a little bit of a low time frame bounce, aren't they?
Yeah. So that's Coinbase kicking in.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to know who's in charge of crypto in the States, it's institutional. This is where you start looking at institutional products.
Yeah, but
so I'm a bit contrarian, Dave. Like, to me, this is first move. So I've just protected along that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'm likely to. No, this is not financial advice, obviously, but I'm likely to be looking for a short if the direction changes back.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have 41 people in at the moment as well, which is nice, nice amount. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream, please. And click those links in the description. The first one to sign up to BLOFIN, the best non-KYC exchange that you can opt for in the industry to trade from. Second one's Stonksy, and then the third one is actually if you want to become a Stonksy affiliate. So if you want to earn a 10% kickback.
Oh wow!
For many plans that you sell, look at Popcat go. Popcat's,
oh wow!
Popcat's going. If you do want to earn a 10% kickback from any plans that people buy via your link, you can get your own affiliate link there. Interesting. What's your opinion on memes this cycle? My personal opinion is that they're going to remain, the strong narrative. Obviously, they took a bit of a backseat, haven't they, the past couple of weeks? But I think
traditionally, what leads the cycle ends the cycle.
Yeah. I think they're gonna, they'll wrestle back the momentum from the market, and I think we'll see, just the narrative take over again.
The one thing that may so there's a bit of what's it called, the AI there's this new AI sector, right, which AI 16Z is a part of.
Yeah.
That narrative, what do they call the bloody thing again? They call it, there's a new sector they've created. What do they call it? They call it, so basically they've reinvented DeFi.
Oh, AI agents.
Yes, yeah. So they've reinvented DeFi. Yeah. So all I haven't done a deep dive in it, but AI agents are basically promising yield.
Yeah.
So the idea is you buy the coin, I don't know if they call it staking, but it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the product itself goes to work and then trades itself and returns you yield. That's the premise, right. I believe. Yeah. So that's, just rebranded DeFi, right?
Yeah.
So that could slow down the memes, potentially. But I see one of the and I've thought fairly deeply about memes, and okay, so we have got direction back down again on S&P, but one of the ideas behind memes and why they become so popular is they're honest, in the sense that most educated people know that most memes will go to zero.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, they do crazy things.
Yeah. I think, that's definitely one of them. I also think it's just because, people got sick of, the VC coins, buying VC coins where, early investors got in it, 100, 200th of the price. Then they get unlocks, then they dump on, the people that have bought afterwards.
In the case of some of them, 1/50,000th of the price.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where meme coins come out. Obviously you have people that get in early, but it's a fair market in it. Apart from the devs and the devs' friends who they tell who buy it up at the start. Apart from that, it's a fair market if you see it on Pump Fun or whatever, or if you happen to come across it and you buy. But
actually, I'd like to talk to you about launching a meme. I've got a bit of an idea right now that I think could be a bit of fun.
Yeah, super. Yeah. We'll jump on a private call. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from obviously that fact that they're 100% diluted, aren't they? Everything's in circulation straight away. So I think there's a couple of different aspects. Your point that you raised, definitely 100%. But then I also think it's just the fact that do people want to carry on buying VC coins? Where as soon as the unlock comes, them early investors, what are they doing? They're just dumping on the people that have held the price up, aren't they?
Well, one of the factors to go into that mindset is that Europe and America do not have the spare cash to throw into crypto or any asset. So all of this has been driven by Asia, and American institutions. So it's one thing to understand that with these kind of products, they can only go up in a high liquidity environment. And we do not have a high liquidity environment. Like, for example, I went and bought one apple. It cost me $3. Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane, that, isn't it?
So, and I've got a couple of friends in the food business. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's insanity, really.
So, Dave, I really appreciate you having me. I enjoy listening to you and I enjoy watching you. I'm just going to tap out. I need to go and to a little men's room, and I'll see you in the lounge.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do, mate, is obviously I think I'll probably end the stream here as well. But what I'll do, I'll give you a message. I'm going to have 10, 15, 20 minutes just to go and get a drink and just relax the mind a bit after streaming. But then, yeah, I'll give you a message and then we'll jump into Discord and get this lounge on the go. If you're still around for it, if not, I'll jump in and do it. I think he's already gone. So never mind. Let's see what we're doing anyway. We'll have a little look to see what Bitcoin's doing before we go. But yeah, do make sure if you got any questions, do pop them in. Yeah, we are pumping back to the upside on Bitcoin. But yeah, if you got any questions before I go, do get them in. I welcome discussion and any questions that you have, answer to the best of my ability. So yeah, let me know. I've got some good absorption on that 1 hour candle, haven't we? As you can see as well. Created a really long lower wick there. So yeah, really good absorption on that 1 hour candle. Now whether we get follow through on that and fill it in, we'll have to wait and see. But we have had a strongish start, to the US Open. Whether we get a reversal on that, well, we'll see. Log X looking good for a breakout on the daily. I'll have a look at this before we go. Let's see. Log X. Let's see. On the daily. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? There's pretty much, besides obviously where it's had absorption on these wicks, 1, 2, 3. There's really nothing but blue sky above for it, towards filling in the launch wick anyway. So yeah, nothing but blue sky above for Log X. It appears obviously minus the absorption it's had on these attempted breakouts. So yeah, it does look good on the daily, that as long as it can keep strength and doesn't end up as the same fate as these candles. Maybe this cleared the overhead supply on these days. But yeah, thank you very much for joining today's stream. Before you go, do make sure you drop a like, do subscribe, and do click the links in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN, the best exchange that you can trade on this year to achieve your goals, and sign up to Stonksy. Hope to see you in the Discord. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you all. And I'll be back for another stream tomorrow as usual. So I look forward to seeing you then. Peace out.